Here we're faced with the ambiguity of concepts, when the same concept can express completely different realities. What is meant by pride and humility in orthodoxy? By pride, of course, this feeling of personal superiority over all other people. When I don't see my faults, when I'm happy with myself, my dinner, and my wife, and when no one dares tell me that a crow flew by and plot me. Yes, look at yourself. That is when I am holy and untouchable. Try to criticize me? I'll show you then. I'll fight you back. Pride is the source of all human mischief. Why? Self-conceit, the opinion of one's own merits, the inability to see anything bad in oneself. That's what pride is. This feeling is really put as a source of all human passions and all human troubles. The one who is not capable of introspection and sees himself in all good things, you will not be able to talk about anything with this person. It is impossible to talk to him at all. We understand this perfectly well. What is humility? What kind of humility does Christianity talk about? Who has tried at least once in her life to spend a day knowing how? So that your conscience is absolutely clear? In what sense? We seem to know that it is actually possible not to kill anyone, not to rob, no, but not to judge anyone. For example, not to get angry, not to envy anyone, not to look at someone else's wife, in a relevant way, and so on. Who at least once in her life? Look, I would like to be a perfectly pure person. It's natural. Clean, not outwardly. Only. Like a Pharisee. Not just morally clean. When I do not violate the norms of social behavior in other things, but to be spiritually pure. What does it mean to be spiritually pure? And even in thoughts, desires, and feelings. Do you understand? Not to desecrate yourself with anything. After all, remember that Dostoevsky said, through the prince's mouth, if only that which is present in my soul was revealed, even for a single moment, what would begin then? There would be such a stench that it would be impossible to breathe on earth. You see, orthodoxy asserts a curious thing. It says, here for you is an image of an ideal person. Do you agree? Wonderful person. So that he would be harmless to everyone, would sacrifice even himself, his interest for the benefit of others, would envy no one, would not get conceited, would help any and every person. Well, draw this image. Can you imagine? Yes? Here the gospel gives this image. A good one? Well, a good one. Just try. Just try for one day to be like that. All right, fine. 1 hour, try to be like that. If anyone tries, right away we'll be surprised. Turns out, I can't be like that. Every now and then, I just break down. All right, I will be a temperate person. Great. And then the party goes on. Where can you abstain here? Overeaten. I got into a ladies' company, forgot about my wife, and so on. They awarded my best friend. I'm jealous, not me. And so it is at every step. What kind of humility does Christianity talk about? Christianity speaks about knowing oneself, about the real vision of oneself, not in rose-colored glasses, but to look at yourself as you really are. How to look at yourself? This requires some kind of a standard, some kind of norm. What do you look at? What do you compare yourself with? Christianity gives the ideal image of a holy person. Look and compare yourself, and you will see who you really are. But you will not only see yourself. That's what is very important. I notice that every time I decide to be holy, every time I would lose myself. I will then start treating other people differently. I see, here he lied, he deceived, this other one turned up his nose. How will I treat them? Yes, I am like that myself. I will already be sympathetic. That doesn't mean I'm going to indulge. I will be sympathetic. True benevolence, love is born when I see myself, that I am very far from reaching the norm that should be. In a hospital, they do not condemn each other for illnesses, but sympathize and help. It's the same in our lives. What is humility? It is a real vision of oneself on a spiritual level, own capabilities, own spiritual level. It is this vision that generates in me the right attitude towards everyone. This is the right attitude, the attitude of love. But here, when this attitude really flows from a person, then he is ready to lay down his soul. For whom? For his friends. Because what is true love? Always in the sacrifice of yourself in at least something. Humility Therefore, in Christianity, it is in fact not passivity, it is not relaxation, but on the contrary, it is a tone towards what? For healing, for life, for activity. Therefore, what do we see in the history of the Russian church? Curious things we see. Alexander Nevsky, for example, is a person canonized. What is he famous for? Passivity? This is our Russian pride. Most humble Reverend Sergius, what is he doing? Sent she monks. Where to? The Battle of Kulikovo. Who was the first to enter the battle? Shimon, a monk. Were there not enough Russian knights in Kulikovo field? Not enough heroes? They didn't have the courage. Who had enough? The one who had the most humility. Christian humility, it is power that enables a person to give himself for his friends. When we use the expression pride for our people, for our fatherland, and so on, do not confuse this with disgusting concept of spiritual pride, which is always associated with self-exaltation, with seeing oneself as the best, with humiliating others, and so on. Actually, Russian pride, Russian patriotism, what is it connected with? With the fact that in Russia, there has never been a Russian person's contempt for other peoples. This distinguishes our Russian patriotism. Has never been. All our peoples lived on the same grounds. Moreover, the most curious thing that we have always had are, oh, he has his own faith? Well, your own faith. That's how it should be. What were Russians like? Take the year 1812. Compare the two armies of Napoleon, Catholics and Protestants. Did you know, while they were moving from Paris to Moscow, what they had done? In Moscow, we can see what they had done. And when did the Russians march from Moscow to Paris? You know, they passed like girls in white dresses. No one was touched. No arson, no robbery, no violence. Silent they are now. What the Russian army was, when it was orthodox, amazing feats of courage. They went for everything. Impressive courage, with unequal forces. 6 times larger were army-Russian ratios, like Suvorov's with the Turks, and never while there were Russian armies were there robberies, violence, and excesses. Here's an example, especially vivid, because in a Russian person there was the spirit of humility. It is always connected with love. On the battlefield, yes, I'll show you who I am, I'll show you, and who you are. I won't let you in, I'll die, but I won't let you in. The battle ended, I won't touch anyone. That's what the Russian army showed in its time. Orthodoxy, it is a great power. Therefore, pride and humility that orthodoxy speaks of has nothing to do with that sense of national dignity. It is completely different. It is healthy feelings. And with humility as downtroddenness, passivity, nothing like that. The more a person has humility, the more love and sacrifice he has and courage, and disregard for personality and so on. Once again, thank you all very much and good health. Take care of yourself, your loved ones, take care of your relatives. The most valuable thing a person has is life.